into it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't down once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it
today, from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's the AFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. As we'll see Kyler Murray and the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Lamar Jackson and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Josh Lambo to kick off for Jacksonville.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Jackson. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. First carry for Royce Freeman. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 12.
Royce Freeman, the ball.
A big run there by Freeman. 47 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by Waller out left side.
Jackson's pass.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5.
Jackson's pass.
So here are the Jaguars in great field position already. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rest as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Carson will take the handoff out of the option play. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 23. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Josh Lambo will attempt the field goal. He's a former Charger, remember, back in their San Diego days. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead.
Jaguars 3.
Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
The Chargers take over.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big play to start them out. Has them at the 45 already. This is Freeman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Tackled by Ashton Davis up from the secondary.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there, holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. and then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he'll need to put that interception out of his mind quickly because between the field goal and the pick six, they're already looking up at a 2-score differential.
And isn't it interesting that a lot of the time when we talk about having a short memory, we say that's a defensive back, right? Got beat for a touchdown pass, throw it out. Quarterbacks have to do the same thing. They make a mistake, come back and be the best quarterback you were before.
Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down. From the gun, Jackson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Alton Robinson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 36. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Now Murray off play action. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Yetur Gross-Matos showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
Lamar Jackson heading back out as we check out our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And the drive starts for the completion, left side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On second down now, Forbes. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against him.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 20. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be second down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head, his head coach and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line.
2nd and 8. On play action, it's Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Snap comes to Murray at 1. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Yetur Gross-Matos able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, Jackson. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, quick hitter here, it's complete. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play good for 7. But it still brings up a 4th and goal. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. 27 yards. The kick by McManus is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3.
Chargers 3.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a 3rd in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC Divisional Round game. But first, let's take a look back at action from earlier. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game.
Brandon McManus set.
Winner go home. That's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Shotgun now from Murray. Fights through him. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On first down, Carson. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Murray flushed out right. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Play fake. Murray. The 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. That's good. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, he hits Baldwin right side. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
To number 84. 2 yards on the play. First down, Chargers.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
34 on the
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Jackson's pass.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On third down, Freeman. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
It's a gain of 9.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now it's Freeman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
To Royce Freeman.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Baldwin. And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Touchdown
from 13 yards out. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Brandon McManus set to kick off.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the option, a handoff to Carson. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. L.A. readies for its next possession. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here the 4th quarter, the divisional round. And they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The throw right sideline here is complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Play action. It's Jackson. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 10-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursue, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On third down, it's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And McManus able to put it through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
At their own 31-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Murray going to run on the action. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Back to throw. Murray. A quick slant to Hill. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And 8.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. To throw is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. Gets this one to Hill. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Jaguars season will continue at least one more week as we say so long, everybody. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.